Think about the world of an emergency responder. It's all about high stakes, right? Sirens, flashing lights, decisions you have to make in a heartbeat. It's a job where you've got to be 100% on your game because you're helping people on their absolute worst days. So let's get right into what that really takes. All right, let me ask you something. What do you think is a first responder's most important tool? Your mind might go straight to the defibrillator, the radio, maybe even the ambulance itself. But take a second. Think about it. The answer might just surprise you.
It's the responder themselves. I mean, really think about that. Your physical health, your mental sharpness, your emotional stability, that is the real foundation for saving lives. If you don't have that, all the best gear in the world is pretty much useless, right? So today, we're going to break down how responders protect this incredibly vital asset, their own well-being.
Okay, so where do we start? Well, let's begin with the stuff you can't see, the invisible challenges. The mental and emotional weight of this job is just immense, and the first step to handling it is really just understanding it. We're talking about how to navigate some really tough stuff like stress and grief. Responders are constantly dealing with people who are going through the 5 stages of grief. And hey, sometimes they're going through it themselves. Now, it's not always a neat step-by-step process, but having this framework, it's absolutely crucial. It helps them make sense of these really chaotic emotional situations they walk into, so they can actually respond effectively instead of just reacting. And this is where it gets really practical. Look at this quote. When a patient or their family is angry, a responder who gets the whole grief thing knows it's not about them. It's not personal. And just realizing that lets them stay professional, stay focused on the job, and not get sucked into the emotional whirlpool of the moment. But of course, it's not just about handling other people's emotions. Responders have to keep a close watch on their own. Things like getting easily irritated with your crew, not being able to sleep, feeling anxious or isolated. These are all red flags. Spotting these signs of stress in yourself is the absolute #1 first step. You have to see it before you can stop it from taking over. So, this whole idea of wellness, it naturally flows from the mental side right over to the physical. I mean, protecting your mind is one huge piece of the puzzle, but protecting your body from the very real, tangible threats out there, that's the other half. And sometimes the basics are the most powerful. It might sound a little too simple, but physical resilience often boils down to 3 key things: eating well, staying hydrated, and finding healthy ways to just decompress. A balanced diet isn't just some long-term goal, it's what gives you the fuel to get through a grueling 12-hour shift and helps your body physically cope with all that stress. Okay, so beyond your general health, there's the immediate risk of infection. And the golden rule for protecting yourself is something called standard precautions. The concept is actually really simple, but it's so critical. Basically, you have to treat all body fluids from every patient as if they're potentially infectious. That mindset right there completely changes how you approach every single call you go on. Which naturally brings us to PPE, personal protective equipment. And here's the thing, putting it on, or donning, and taking it off, doffing, that's a science. It's a precise skill. You could do your job perfectly, but if you accidentally contaminate yourself while taking off your gloves or gown, you've just undone all your hard work. The sequence, the order you do things in, is literally everything. So let's walk through this with gloves, because it's a perfect example. The whole point here is to never let the dirty outside of the glove touch your clean skin. So, step 1. You pinch the first glove right at the wrist. You pull it off, turning it inside out as you go. See how that contaminated glove is now balled up in your other still gloved hand? Now for the second glove, you do something totally different. You take your clean fingers, the ones from the hand you just freed, and you slide them under the cuff of the glove that's still on. You're only touching the clean inside surface. Then you peel that second glove off, turning it inside out, over the first one. What you've just done is create this neat little package with all the nasty stuff trapped safely inside. And there you have it. You're left holding the bundle by a clean inside-out surface, ready to toss it safely. It's a super precise, life-saving little dance where every single step counts. All right, so we've looked at internal well-being and personal protection. Let's zoom out now and look at the bigger picture, the scene itself. Every single call is a totally dynamic, unpredictable environment, just full of potential hazards, and all of them have to be managed. And these threats can be anything, right? They can be super obvious, like a big chemical warning placard on the side of a truck, or they can be completely invisible, like a microbe on a surface. But no matter what the threat is, the safety principles are always the same. It's a simple three-step process. Identify the risk, protect yourself from it, and then decontaminate if you need to.
And believe me, the list of what you might run into is, well, it's practically endless. We're talking about downed power lines, unstable cars after a crash, raging fires, electrical dangers, sharp objects everywhere. Even the weather can be a hazard. And you can't forget about unpredictable animals, like a family dog that gets protective and aggressive when its owner is hurt. Keeping this scene safe means having this constant 360-degree awareness at all times. So let's pull all these threads together. Everything we've been talking about, the mental game, your physical health, avoiding infections, managing a dangerous scene. This isn't just a boring checklist of things to do. This is the job. This is the absolute core skill that makes a responder effective. Really, it all boils down to one simple idea. Every single skill we've talked about, handling grief, protecting yourself from disease, mastering a chaotic scene, all of it is built on one single foundation, the responder's own well-being. Because, as the saying goes, you just can't pour from an empty cup. And you know, whether you're a first responder or not, this idea applies to all of us. Being ready for what life throws at you isn't something that just happens by accident. It's a choice you make every day. So I'll leave you with this to think about. What's one thing you're going to do today to stay ready for tomorrow?